All right, cool. This okay. Bow. Look, that was a perfect example of what I'm about to talk about today. Not allowing my circumstances to be give be, get blah, 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 not to give my circumstances the power to become excuses, right? So I was listening to a podcast today, and they were people kind of talking about stuff that went on in their life, and struggles and all the type of stuff. And I mean, they overcame them. And I was sitting trying to think like, okay, so what makes these individuals different than anybody else? And the fact is, they aren't that different. Everybody is it. It's just a choice not to let circumstances to not giving circumstances the power to become excuses. I'm gonna explain that in a little bit, because we all have circumstances. We all have things that you know we're born into, or that happen to us, or that go on in our lives. But if we choose to keep the power over them, not saying they don't affect us, not saying that they can't change the trajectory of certain things, but if we just refuse to allow them to become excuses for not completing tasks, for not doing what we're supposed to do, or even what we believe we're called to do, or even letting them be excuses of being dormant, not achieving, that's a power that we give our circumstances, because we could actually use our circumstances to motivate us. You can see time and time again. I know you heard story after story after story of people who had bad situations, bad circumstances, bad things even happen to them directly, but they did not use it to be to give them. They did not give that those circumstances the power to hinder them from becoming who they believe and know they were supposed to be. And you may say, well, they're like superheroes, or they're just great people. They did this, that, and the other. It was literally a choice to keep the power away from the circumstances, you know, and it really doesn't matter what the circumstance is, unless that circumstance is death, that you can still achieve. We all can. And this is something, even myself, I'm talking to myself about it as well, because I talk, like when it comes to going to the gym, I've had some circumstances that I've allowed to become excuses to not go to the gym as much as I should. And what type of circumstances are you dealing with that's preventing you from doing the things that that you want to do? And then sometimes we'll say, okay, we end up settling for something less because of the power that we've given the circumstances that we have. My bad, I got to turn this heat off. I got this jacket on. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, really, really briefly, is think about the circumstances in your life. Actually, no. First, think about goals that you've set out to make, things that you have desired or wanted or tried to accomplish. Think about those things first. Then look and see, why haven't you completed them? Why haven't you gotten to the point where you've done the things that you promised yourself that you were going to do, that you were going to accomplish in life? And tell and talk to those things, and ask yourself why. What happened in between? How did you lose the motivation? Did something happen to stop you? And take the power back from those circumstances. Maybe something happened where you got depressed. Maybe something went on that hindered your money, hindered your time, hindered just whatever it may be, and you allowed it to become an excuse for not succeeding, an excuse for not pushing towards what you want to do. I'm here to encourage you to change that. Take the power back away from the circumstance, and use it as a springboard. Use it as motivation, so that one day when someone tells your story, they can say, yeah, they went through this, but they actually went through it. They didn't allow that circumstance to stop them from being who it is that they knew that they were supposed to do. Maybe you're supposed to be the person who finds the cure for cancer, but because of a situation, you've decided not to that you decided, well, I'm going to chill. I'm not going to go to medical school. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But what you want to do is move that, and cause it to be the catalyst to something. Think about how many stories you've heard where somebody has faced some type of adversity. They faced some type of situation that wasn't the best, and they did not allow it to become. He did not allow it to stop them. It may have hindered them for a second. It may have even slowed them down for a little bit, but it didn't stop them. They took the power back from it. I think about one of my greatest one of my greatest heroes in civil rights, Malcolm X. If you look at his story, the man his father was killed when he was a child. He was raised in after his mother, had to go into a crazy home. He he was raised by a white family that told him he couldn't be much. Even teachers tell him he couldn't be much. So he grew up and grew up a screw up, as Big would say. But what he decided to do is eventually, after going to jail, he decided that he was going to make something out of himself and even use the situations that he used to be in to help other people. So think about your background. Maybe, you didn't come from the best of homes. Maybe, even you made some mistakes. We all have made some mistakes that can hinder and stop us from doing stuff. Be like, dang, I messed up too much in order to do what I feel like I was supposed to do. But what you can do is say, nah, in spite of that, in spite of what has happened to me, or even in spite of what I've done, I'm still going to take control and change the situation. That we're not going to let our circumstances, again, we're not going to let our circumstances have the power to become excuses, because that's what we do so often. We do it almost every day. But if we consciously think about it and be very goal oriented and goal focused, then we'll be able to take advantage of each and every circumstance that comes our way, and we will succeed. We will make it. I believe in you. I believe in me. So, all of that. And even when I think about some of the things that's going on right now, we see banks closing, huge banks, Silicon Valley Bank, another bank, getting taken over and going to receivership from the FDIC. So we know that something's about to happen that's going to cause some type of financial situation. And we've had it happen. It happened in 2008. It happened in the beginning of 2020. So it's probably going to happen again between now and 2024. Those are circumstances. But I'm going to tell you, everybody does not fail. Everybody does not suffer in those circumstances. So what we got to do is have our mind already set and ready to say, hey, I'm not gonna be a victim of this circumstance. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be prepared for it. That's one thing that I'm, having my clients to do is be prepared for what's getting ready to come. Have your products, have your services ready so that when this stuff goes down, you'll be able to say, hey, even in the midst of the circumstance, I did not let that become my excuse to be broke. I did not let that become my excuse to be poor. Oh yeah, there was a crash, but I still made money. I still survived. I'm living the life that I deserve. Like, that's where you want to be. And it all starts in the mind. The mind is the battlefield. That's where you fight that stuff, because it's easy to follow the trend, because honestly, the trend is going to be helpless. The trend is going to be that you are a victim of the circumstance. The trend is going to be that when this stuff starts going down and stuff isn't going right, that you're looking to the government to help you. You're looking to somebody to do this, or you're just expecting to fail. You're expecting things to go wrong so that you can post about it and talk about it. But nah. Have it in your mind that despite the circumstance, you're going to keep the power over your situation and not give that circumstance the power to become your excuse, because your destiny is too important. The things that you're called to do are too important for you to just give up on what it is that you desire, that you really want. And like that, if you don't want it, don't want it. But if you do, hold on to it. Don't let any circumstance become the excuse to mess you up. That's all I got to say for now. It is almost midnight, and I said I was going to go live every day. I've missed a few days, but guess what? That's not going to stop me. I'm not going to let those circumstances become excuses for me not doing what I know what I'm supposed to do. All right. So y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, metaphysical speculations, let me know. As you see at the bottom of the screen, we're doing our cyber business camp again, where we're teaching children entrepreneurship and ethical hacking. And I'm looking forward to teaching your kids and having them learn two of the most lucrative professions in the world today. I'm doing a 50% off sale this week, and we're doing some scholarships coming up as well. So that's about it, y'all. Holler at me when you see me in the streets. Later.